So Prince Harry finally got his tea with King Charles, and the whole world is buzzing. Not just about the 55 minutes they spent together, but about what wasn't said, who wasn't there, and who might be fuming in silence. On paper, it looked like reconciliation. In reality, it looked like strategy. This wasn't a surprise father-son moment. This was optics. This was stagecraft. The timing, the location, the secrecy, it all screamed carefully managed PR, not heartfelt family healing. And notice who wasn't there. Meghan. No glimpse of her in the car. No shadow behind a window. Not even a blurry figure in the background of a paparazzi shot. She was absent, but somehow she still managed to dominate the conversation. The meeting carried weight for one simple reason. It was Harry's first face-to-face with his father since the world learned of Charles's cancer diagnosis. That fact alone made the moment emotional. But this time, the palace made sure no details leaked ahead of time. No whispers to the press. No breadcrumb trail of what was coming. Because the last time Harry made a visit like this, word slipped out early, and the backlash was swift. Charles wasn't about to let his health become podcast fodder or the backdrop of another streaming series. For once, Harry arrived with no microphones, no camera crew, no Netflix producers hiding in the wings. Just him. Just 55 minutes with his father. No Camilla, no William, no wider family gathering. Only tea and a ticking clock. It almost felt like Charles had a free hour on his calendar and decided, fine, let's give the boy his slot. You can almost imagine Charles using those minutes to send a subtle message. Look, son, I'm still strong. I'm still working. I'm not on my deathbed. Stop selling the idea that I'm fading fast. But while Clarence House was quiet, the real chaos erupted online. Because just as Harry's visit made headlines, Meghan's social media lit up. She reposted a clip of Harry play-fighting with a little girl, toy swords clashing in a light-hearted moment. The hearts she added turned it into something personal, almost intimate. People immediately assumed Meghan had filmed it, that she was hiding in the shadows, re-emerging as part of the story. But here's the twist. The clip wasn't hers at all. It came from Hello Magazine, watermark and all. Meghan had simply reposted it. And that was no accident. That was her move. Her way of saying, don't forget, he's still mine. And it worked. Within minutes, the gossip cycle spun up. Is Meghan secretly in London? Was she behind the camera? Did she slip into Clarence House too? The answer to all of it, no, and absolutely not. But Meghan didn't need to be there. She wanted the speculation. That's the game. Because, let's be honest, if Meghan had been in that car heading to Clarence House, everything would have been different. There would have been no private father-son meeting. It would have been a documentary segment with mood lighting and a scripted voiceover. Meghan knows how to play the optics, and sometimes the most powerful move is to confuse people without ever showing up. And the confusion worked. Suddenly, Meghan was everywhere without being anywhere. While Harry sat across from Charles, Meghan controlled the narrative from thousands of miles away. But the tea meeting raised another glaring question. What about William? Once again, nothing. No wave, no phone call, not even a polite leak suggesting communication behind the scenes. The silence between the brothers is deafening. Every time Harry steps foot in Britain, the public hopes for a reunion, a glimpse of the brothers together. But William didn't budge. He wasn't at Clarence House. He didn't stop by. He didn't even acknowledge Harry's presence. And that silence says more than any carefully drafted palace statement ever could. So Harry spends his trip smiling for cameras at charity events, dodging awkward questions, trying to appear relaxed. But you can see it. Tension lives under every photo op. He's caught in a tug-of-war between two identities, American celebrity and British royal, and neither side fits him perfectly anymore. He tries to act casual, but the cracks show. He doesn't know who he is unless someone else is scripting the moment. And a lot of that comes back to Meghan. She's reshaped him, his tone, his posture, his public image. He speaks more like a Hollywood actor than a Windsor prince. Overly emotional, overly dramatic, always ready with a monologue. That's Meghan's influence. She built her brand on feelings-forward storytelling, tears on demand, confession as performance. And Harry has absorbed it. You saw it in that awkward exchange with a child who mentioned having a brother at the same school. Harry instantly soured, muttering how that must be awful. The child simply shrugged and said, "No, we're friends." Harry had accidentally projected his own baggage onto a stranger's innocent comment. It was revealing. It showed how much William still haunts him. Even in casual conversation, Harry walks around shadowboxing with ghosts. That's the problem. Every public move he makes feels tainted by subtext. A tea with Charles? Could be a Netflix teaser. A charity visit? Could be chapter fodder for a memoir. People don't see sincerity anymore. They see production, and Meghan knows how to lean into that doubt. Her repost wasn't about Harry bonding with a child. It was about keeping herself tethered to the narrative. Even absent, she made herself the question mark. The brothers remain frozen. William doesn't trust Harry. And Charles, despite opening his door for 55 minutes, didn't roll out the red carpet. There was no family dinner, no extended visit. Once the hour was over, Charles returned to duty, back to Scotland, back to work. It was polite, it was controlled, but it wasn't warm. Harry was granted a courtesy, not embraced as a son. Meanwhile, Meghan perfected the art of calculated silence. She let speculation do the work. By staying away, she avoided direct criticism while still inserting herself through suggestion. It's a strategy. Stay relevant without being responsible. Let Harry take the spotlight. Let Harry take the heat, while she orchestrates the whispers from afar. Her repost blurred lines, sparked questions, and reminded everyone that she's still in control of Harry's public image. But the audience is growing weary. Meghan's curated mysteries, Harry's emotional outbursts, it's starting to feel like the same story on repeat. People don't know what's real and what's performance anymore. Sympathy is fading. The outrage has cooled into indifference, and in the media world, indifference is deadly. Harry's greatest problem now isn't Meghan, or even the royal family. It's credibility. He's told too many versions of too many stories. The contradictions pile up. Every interview shifts the narrative again, and the more he shares, the less people believe. If another Netflix special or memoir arrives, the reaction might not be outrage. It might be boredom. And boredom is worse, because once the public stops caring, the spotlight dims for good. Even the military showed it. That moment when soldiers refused to salute him, no gesture, no nod, cut deeper than words. For a man who once wore the uniform with pride, that silence was devastating. It wasn't hate, it was mistrust. In their world, loyalty is currency. And Harry spent his last coin when he turned private royal life into public confession. Which is why Charles handled the meeting the way he did. Cordial but cold. Respectful but brief. 55 minutes, then done. Charles made his point. He's not weak, he's not desperate, and he won't indulge endless theatrics. He gave Harry just enough to silence speculation, then returned to his duties as king. So Harry leaves with a smile for the cameras, but underneath, the fracture remains. Meghan stays in California, absent but omnipresent, playing her long game through silence and reposts. And William stays silent, unbothered, unmoved, uninterested. For all the noise around this meeting, the truth is simple. Nothing has changed. Not really. Harry is still caught between two worlds. Meghan is still shaping the narrative from the sidelines. And the monarchy? It carries on, with or without him. What looked like reconciliation was really just optics, a set piece in a family drama that refuses to end. A polite hour of tea that solved nothing and revealed everything. Because even when Meghan isn't there, somehow she's still everywhere. And that's the story the world keeps watching.